The small research ship floated through the dark purple clouds of the Kepler Nebula. Its metal hull was painted white with blue stripes, showing it belonged to the Galactic Council. Inside the ship, 6 beings from different worlds worked together. They were looking for old things in space. Zephyr-9 was the leader of the team. She had blue skin and 4 arms. Her people came from a world with strong gravity, so they were built tough. But Zephyr-9 was smart, not strong. She loved finding old ships and learning about the past. "Something big on the scanner," said Korvik. He was from a world of ice and had white fur all over his body. His eyes were very good at seeing in space. "It looks like a ship." Zephyr-9 moved to look at the screen. The ship was huge, much bigger than their little research ship. It was dark and did not move. No lights came from it. "How old is it?" she asked. Korvik pushed buttons on his machine. Numbers showed up on the screen. His face showed surprise. "Very old. Maybe 300 years? The metal is very old, but still strong." Dr. Vex made a noise with his mouth. He was tall and thin like a stick. His people were very smart, but did not like fighting. 300 years. That would be from the time of the humans. Everyone on the ship became quiet. They all knew about humans. Humans had been in space for a short time. Then they disappeared. No one knew where they went or what happened to them. "Can we tell what kind of ship it is?" Zephyr-9 asked. Korvik looked at his machines again. "It has guns, many guns." This was a warship. A big warship. Zephyr-9 felt excited. Finding old human things was very rare. Most human ships had been found and studied long ago. This one was different. It was hidden in the nebula where no one looked. "Take us closer," she said. Their ship moved toward the old human ship. As they got closer, they could see it better. The ship was long like a knife. It had big gun turrets on the top and bottom. The metal had marks on it, burn marks from weapon fire. "Look at all those marks," said Dr. Vex. This ship was in many fights. Zephyr-9 studied the marks. Some were small. Some were very big. The ship had been hit by many different weapons, but it was still in one piece. "The humans built things to last," she said. Korvik found a place where they could attach their ship. The airlock doors were still good. The human ship still had air inside, but it was old air. They put on their breathing masks and went inside. The inside of the ship was dark. Their lights showed long halls with doors on both sides. Everything was made of gray metal. The humans liked simple things. "No pretty colors or art like other species made. The power is off," said Tok Tok. She was small and round with many arms. Her people were good at fixing machines, but the emergency power might still work. She found a power box and opened it. She connected some wires. Lights came on in the hall. The ship was still alive after all these years. "Amazing," said Dr. Vex. Human machines work for a very long time. They walked through the ship. They found rooms where humans slept. They found rooms where humans ate. They found rooms full of weapons. Everything was clean and organized. The humans had left the ship ready for someone to find it. "This way," said Zephyr-9. She was looking for the most important room, the command center. That was where the ship's brain would be, where all the information was kept. They found the command center at the front of the ship. It had many screens and control panels. In the center was a big chair where the ship's captain would sit. Tok Tok went to work on the computers. Her many arms moved fast over the controls. "The main computer is sleeping, but I can wake it up." More lights came on. Screens showed pictures and words. Most of it was in human language, but their computers could translate it. "What kind of ship is this?" Zephyr-9 asked. Tok covered the screens. "It says this is the UES Defiant, a battle cruiser. It was part of something called the Third Fleet." Dr. Vex was looking at other screens. "Look at this, the ship's log. It has records of many battles." Zephyr-9 came over to look. The screen showed a list of fights the ship had been in. There were many names. Battle of Kepler 7, Defense of New Terra, The Last Stand at Proxima Gate. "The humans were always fighting someone," said Korvik. "Yes," said Dr. Vex. "That is what they were known for. They fought everyone, even each other." Zephyr 9 read more of the log. Her eyes got wide. Look at these numbers. This says the ship fought against 10,000 enemy ships at Proxima Gate, and won. Dr. Vex made a laughing sound. That is impossible. One ship cannot beat 10,000 ships. The humans were always making up stories about their fights. But why would they lie in their own records? Asked Zephyr 9. To make themselves feel better, said Dr. Vex. All species do this. They make their victories bigger and their defeats smaller. Tok had found more files. There are many battle reports here, thousands of them, and videos too. Videos of the battles? Zephyr 9 asked. Yes, the humans recorded everything. They have videos of space fights, ground battles, even small fights between soldiers. Zephyr 9 was very interested now. No other species kept such detailed records of their wars. Most species wanted to forget about fighting, but humans seemed to remember every detail. Can you play one of the videos? She asked. Tok worked on the computer. A new screen came alive. It showed the inside of a human ship. Humans in uniform were sitting at control stations. Alarms were making noise. Red lights were flashing. 30 enemy ships coming in fast, said a human voice. We are ready, said another voice. This human was sitting in the captain's chair. He looked calm even though his ship was about to fight 30 ships alone. The video showed the battle from outside the ship. Zephyr 9 watched as the human ship moved between the enemy ships. Its guns fired without stopping. Enemy ships exploded one after another. This cannot be real, said Dr. Vex. One ship cannot move that fast or shoot that well, but the video kept playing. The human ship was damaged but still fighting. In the end, all 30 enemy ships were destroyed. The human ship was still alive. The video looks real, said Korvik. The explosions look right. The ship movements look right. But it is impossible, said Dr. Vex. No species can fight like this, Zephyr 9 was thinking. She had studied many species and their wars. She had never seen anything like what the humans claimed to do, but she had also never found such detailed records. Most species did not keep videos of their battles. We need to study all of this carefully, she said. Copy everything to our ship. We will take it back to the council and let the experts decide if it is real or not. It will take a long time, said Tok. There are millions of files here. Then we start now, said Zephyr-9 as her team worked to copy the files. Zephyr 9 looked around the command center. The humans had built this ship to fight. Every part of it was made for war, but they had also built it to last, to keep their record safe. Almost like they wanted someone to find their story someday. She wondered what had really happened to the humans. Where had they gone? And why had they left behind this ship with all its secrets? The copying would take many hours. But Zephyr 9 was patient. She had a feeling that these human records would change everything they thought they knew about the past. 3 weeks later, Zephyr 9 sat in her office at the Galactic Council Research Center. The walls were covered with screens showing data from the human ship. Her team had copied everything from the UES Defiant. Now they had to figure out what was real and what was made up. Where do we start? Asked Dr. Vex. He was drinking something hot from a cup. His long fingers wrapped around it to stay warm. Zephyr 9 looked at the list of battles on her main screen. There were hundreds of them. We start with the most impossible ones. If those are fake, then we know the humans were lying about everything. She pointed to one entry on the list. This one, the Siege of Thermopylae Station. It says 300 human marines held off 50,000 Zakthani warriors for 6 months. Korvik made a snorting sound. The Zakthani are the best fighters in the galaxy. 50,000 of them could take over a whole planet. 300 humans could not stop them. That is what we thought too, said Zephyr 9. So let us see what the humans wrote about it. She opened the file. The battle report was very long. It had the names of all 300 Marines. It told what weapons they used. It showed maps of the station. It listed how much food and water they had. Everything was written down like someone was keeping track of supplies at a store. Listen to this, said Zephyr 9. She read from the report. Day 1. Zakthani fleet arrives. Count 900 ships. Ground forces estimated at 52,000 warriors. Station defenses minimal. Marine complement 307 soldiers. Recommendation: immediate evacuation. Command: decision: hold the line. Dr. Vex shook his head. See, they knew they could not win, but they stayed anyway. This is just a story about brave humans who died fighting. Zephyr 9 kept reading. Day 15. Enemy casualties 8,000. Marine casualties 12. Station defenses holding. Ammunition at 60%. Wait, said Korvik. They lost only 12 Marines but killed 8,000 Zakthani. That is impossible. Keep reading, said Tok Tok. She was working on another computer. I am looking up Zakthani history files. Something interesting here. Zephyr 9 continued. With the human report, Day 30. Enemy has pulled back to regroup. Marine casualties, 21 total. Enemy casualties, estimated 15,000. Zakthani commander sending messages to home fleet asking for more warriors. This has to be fake, said Dr. Vex. The numbers are crazy. But look at this, said Tok Tok. She put something on the main screen. Zakthani military records from the same time. They call it the Battle of the Cursed Station. Everyone looked at the Zakthani file. It was written in their language, but the computer translated it. Fleet Commander Gorthnak reports unexpected resistance at mining station. Enemy forces using unknown tactics, heavy casualties among landing forces. Requesting additional warriors, Zephyr 9 felt her heart beat faster. The dates match. Check the location. Tok Tok worked on her computer. Yes, same star system, same station. They kept comparing the two reports. The human file said the battle lasted 187 days. The Zakthani file talked about a 6-month siege at a cursed place where warriors kept dying. Look at this part, said Korvik. He pointed to the Zakthani report. It says they lost 43,000 warriors. The humans say they killed 45,000. Almost the same number, but that means... Dr. Vex stopped talking. His face looked scared. It means the human report was real, said Zephyr-9. They sat in silence for a long time. Then Zephyr 9 opened another file. Let us check one more. The Battle of Hadrian's Gate, one human ship against an entire Veltar armada. This report was different. It was written by the captain of the human ship UES Leonidas. The ship was alone when a Veltar fleet found it. The fleet had 200 ships. Big ships with powerful weapons. The captain writes like he is talking to a friend, said Zephyr 9. Listen to this. Day 1 of battle. Veltar fleet showed up today. 200 ships, maybe more. My crew wants to run, but we have orders to protect the gate. I told them we would make the Veltar pay for every meter of space. Double quotes. Dr. Vex was looking at his own computer. I found Veltar records from that time. They call it the Day the Stars. Bled, what do they say? Asked Zephyr 9. They say one enemy ship destroyed their entire fleet. All 200 ships. They say it was impossible, so they blame it on space demons or some other made-up thing. Zephyr 9 felt cold. Show me the human captain's report about the end of the battle. She read the final entry from Captain Morrison of the UES Leonidas. Battle Day 3, Veltar fleet is gone. All 200 ships destroyed. My ship took heavy damage, but we held the gate. Crew casualties, 47 dead, 96 wounded. I am proud of my people. They fought like lions against impossible odds. We did our duty. 47 dead, said Korvik quietly. 47 humans died, but they killed thousands of Veltar. This cannot be right, said Dr. Vex, but his voice did not sound sure anymore. Tok Tok was working fast on her computer. I am checking more battles. The miracle of Midway Station. Human records say 50 human fighters beat a Centauri attack. Fleet of 3,000 ships. And what do the Centauri say? Asked Zephyr 9. They call it the impossible defeat. They say they lost their entire attack fleet to a small group of enemy fighters. They say the enemy fighters moved like they could see the future. Zephyr 9 felt sick. Every battle report they checked was the same. The humans wrote down what happened like they were writing a shopping list. Simple words, just the facts. No bragging. No big speeches. Just numbers and results, but the numbers were impossible. Humans winning fights when they were outnumbered. 100 to 1. Sometimes 1,000 to 1. And they did it over and over again. How many battle reports are there? Zephyr 9 asked. Tok checked her computer. 2,416 major battles. Thousands more small fights. And how many did they lose? According to their records, 12 battles. They lost 12 battles out of thousands. The room was very quiet. Everyone was thinking about what this meant. Maybe they only kept records of the fights they won, said Dr. Vex. Maybe they threw away the reports about losing. But they kept reports about the 12 battles they lost, said Zephyr 9. Why would they keep those if they were trying to make themselves look good? She opened one of the defeat reports. It was about a battle where humans tried to defend a colony. They failed. The colony was destroyed. The human commander wrote about his mistakes. He wrote about the soldiers who died because of his bad decisions. He did not try to make it sound better than it was. This commander is blaming himself for losing, said Zephyr 9. He is not making excuses. He is just telling the truth about what went wrong. So if they told the truth about losing ... said Korvik. Then they told the truth about winning too, finished Zephyr 9. Dr. Vex stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at the spaceport where ships from many worlds came and went. This changes everything we know about humans. It changes everything we know about war, said Zephyr 9. If these reports are real, then humans were not just good fighters. They were impossible fighters. But where are they now? Asked Tok. If they were so good at fighting, what happened to them? Zephyr 9 looked at the list of battle reports again. She noticed something strange. The dates. Look at the dates. On these reports, the others came to look. The battle reports went on for many years, hundreds of years. But then they stopped. The last report was dated exactly 300 years ago. They all stopped fighting at the same time, said Korvik. Not stopped fighting, said Zephyr 9. They disappeared. All at once, right after their biggest victories. She felt scared thinking about it. A species that could win any battle had just vanished. They did not lose a war. They did not get sick and die. They just left. We need to find more information, she said. We need to find out what happened to them. But she was afraid of what they might discover. A species that could beat any enemy but chose to disappear was more frightening than any monster in space. What could make the most dangerous warriors in the galaxy just go away? 2 months had passed since they found the human ship. Zephyr 9 could not sleep well anymore. Every night she thought about the battle reports. Every day brought more proof that the impossible stories were true. Her team had grown bigger. The Galactic Council sent experts from every major species. They all wanted to study the human records. They all hoped to find proof that the humans had been lying. Instead, they kept finding more evidence that the humans had told the truth. Another match, said Dr. Kesslin. She was new to the team. Her people were the best record keepers in the galaxy. If anyone could find lies in the human reports, it would be her. Which battle this time? Asked Zephyr 9. The Siege of Titan Base. Humans say they held off the entire Mordic Empire fleet for 2 years. I found Mordic military records that match perfectly. Dr. Vex looked up from his work. He had been very quiet lately. The evidence was making him nervous. What do the Mordic records say? Dr. Kesslin read from her screen. They call it the War of the Burning Void. They say they sent their entire fleet to crush one small human base. The base had only 5,000 human soldiers. The Mordak brought 2 million warriors and 1,000 warships. And? Asked Zephyr 9. The humans won? The Mordak lost everything? Their entire fleet. Most of their army. The survivors went home and never talked about what happened. Tok was working on a different computer. I found something else, video records from the battle. Everyone gathered around her screen. The video showed space around a small moon. Human ships were very small compared to the giant Mordeck vessels, but the human ships moved fast and shot with perfect aim. "Look at this part," said Tok Tok. She pointed to the screen. One human fighter is fighting 12 Mordeck ships at the same time. They watched as the small human ship flew between the bigger enemy ships. It was like watching a bird fly through a forest of trees. The human pilot never made a mistake. Every shot hit its target. One by one, the Mordeck ships exploded. "How is this possible?" asked Dr. Kesslin. "No pilot can be that good." "But we have hundreds of videos like this," said Tok Tok. "Every human pilot fights the same way. Perfect aim. Perfect flying, no mistakes." Korvik was studying another battle report. "I think I found something important. Look at this." He put a new file on the main screen. It was a report about a battle between humans and the Zek Alliance. The Zek were known for being very smart. They'd planned their battles very carefully. "The Zek brought 50,000 ships to fight 1,000 human ships," said Korvik. The Zek commander was sure he would win. But look at what he wrote after. "The battle." Korvik read from the Zek report. "The humans do not fight like any species we have seen. They do not follow normal battle tactics. They fight like they know what we will do before we do it. Every trap we set, they avoid. Every attack we plan, they counter. It is like fighting against the gods of war themselves." "The gods of war," repeated Dr. Vex quietly. "That is not the strangest part," said Korvik. "Look at this." The Zek commander tried to surrender, but the humans would not accept surrender. "What do you mean?" asked Zephyr 9. "The humans kept fighting until every Zek ship was destroyed. They did not take prisoners. They did not accept surrender. They fought until there was nothing left of the enemy." Zephyr 9 felt cold. "Show me more battles like that." They spent the next hour looking at different battle reports. The pattern was always the same. When humans fought, they fought to the end. They did not stop until the enemy was completely destroyed. "But that is not normal," said Dr. Kesslin. "Most species accept surrender. Most species try not to kill more than they have to." "Not humans," said Tok Tok. "I have checked 50 battles where the enemy tried to surrender. The humans ignored it every time." Dr. Vex stood up and walked around the room. "This is starting to scare me. We always thought humans were just another fighting species. But this is different. This is something else." Zephyr 9 opened another file. "Look at this. A report from the Human Military Command. It is about how to fight battles." She read from the document. "When engaging hostile forces, remember that mercy shown to enemies may result in harm to human civilians. The enemy chose to attack us. We did not choose this fight. But since they brought war to us, we will bring war to them. Complete and total war." "Complete and total war," said Dr. Kesslin. "What does that mean?" "It means they did not just want to win battles," said Zephyr 9. "They wanted to make sure their enemies could never fight them again." Korvik found another document. "This is a speech from a human leader. Listen to this. We do not fight for glory. We do not fight for conquest. We fight because we must. And when we fight to win. Not just this battle, but all future battles. We fight so our children will never have to fight these enemies again." The room was very quiet. Everyone was thinking about what this meant. They were not cruel for fun, said Dr. Vex slowly. They were cruel to protect their families. But the result is the same, said Zephyr 9. Every species that fought humans was destroyed completely. Tok Tok brought up a new screen. I made a list of all the species that fought major wars with humans. The list was long. 37 different species had fought the humans in big wars. Where are these species now? Asked Dr. Kes-Lin.tok-to-ok. Checked her computer. Gone, all of them. Some died out completely. Others lost so many people they never recovered. A few survived but became very small and weak. 37 species, said Korvik. The humans destroyed 37 different species. Not destroyed, said Zephyr 9. The humans did not start these wars. But when other species attacked them, the humans finished the wars completely. She opened more files. Battle reports from the final wars that humans fought. These wars were bigger than the earlier ones. Whole alliances of species had joined together to fight the humans. Look at this. The Grand Alliance War. 15 species working together to stop the humans. They brought the biggest fleet ever seen. 10,000 warships, 1 billion soldiers. What happened? Asked Dr. Kesslin. The humans won. With only 1,000 ships and 10 million soldiers. The entire Grand Alliance was destroyed in 6 months. Dr. Vex sat down heavily in his chair. This is impossible. 1,000 ships cannot beat 10,000 ships. But they did, said Zephyr 9, and I think I know why. She opened a training document from the human military. Look at this. It is about how humans train their soldiers. The document showed pictures of human soldiers learning to fight, but it was not normal training. The humans practiced fighting when they were hurt. They practiced fighting when they were tired. They practiced fighting when they had no food or water. They trained for the worst situations possible, said Zephyr 9. Most species train their soldiers to fight when everything is going well. Humans train their soldiers to fight when everything is going wrong. There is more, said Tok Tok. Look at this document about human weapons. The weapons report showed that humans did not just use energy guns like other species. They used kinetic weapons. Chemical weapons, nuclear weapons, biological weapons. Weapons that other species had stopped using because they were too dangerous. Humans use everything, said Korvik. They do not care if weapons are honorable or not. They just care if weapons work. And there is something else, said Dr. Kesslin. I found medical reports about human soldiers. She showed them a document about human biology during battle. Humans have something called adrenaline. When they fight, their bodies make them stronger and faster. They feel less pain. They think more clearly. Fighting actually makes them better at fighting. No other species has this. Asked Zephyr 9. Some species get excited during battle. But humans become different creatures when they fight. Like they were made for war. Zephyr 9 looked at all the evidence they had gathered, thousands of battle reports, videos of impossible victories, documents showing that humans were built for fighting in ways that other species were not. I think we need to ask a different question, she said. Not why humans were so good at fighting, but why they stopped. What do you mean? Asked Dr. Vex. Look at the timeline. For 300 years, humans won every major war. They destroyed every species that fought them. They were becoming the most powerful force in the galaxy. And then? Asked Korvik. And then they disappeared. All at once. Right when they were at their strongest. Zephyr 9 opened the last battle report in the human files. It was different from the others, shorter, written in a hurry. This is the final report from the human fleet commander. Listen to this. All hostile forces in our sector have been eliminated. Resistance is ended, the galaxy is secure, but at what cost? We have become the very thing we fought against. We are the monsters now. The room was silent. They realized what they had become, said Dr. Vex quietly. The greatest warriors in galactic history, said Zephyr 9, and they were afraid of themselves. 4 months after finding the human ship, Zephyr 9 made a discovery that changed everything. She was working late in her office when she found a hidden folder in the human files. It was marked with words she had not seen before. Project Looking Glass. Tok Tok, come look at this. Tok Tok came over to her desk. Her many arms moved quickly over the controls. This folder is locked, but I can open it. The folder opened to show hundreds of documents. These were different from the battle reports. These documents were marked Top Secret and Eyes Only. These are not battle reports, said Zephyr 9. These are something else. She opened the first document. It was a letter from the human military command to all fleet commanders. The date was near the end of the human wars. Listen to this, said Zephyr 9. She read from the document. To all commanders. We have received reports of increasing concern from our allies about human military methods. Several allied species have requested that we limit our response to enemy attacks. Their allies were scared of them, said Zephyr-9 kept reading. The High Command has reviewed these requests. However, we cannot change our military doctrine while enemy forces continue to threaten human colonies. We fight as we must. Fight. She opened another document. This one was a report from a human diplomat, meeting with Centauri Alliance today. They are worried about human expansion. Ambassador Krell-9 said that other species are starting to fear humans more than their original enemies. He suggested that we should try to be more gentle in our wars. What did the humans say? Zephyr-9 found the human response. Human Ambassador Chun replied that we are only defending ourselves. We do not start wars, but we finish them. If other species are afraid of us, they should stop attacking us. But there was more to the diplomat's report. The human ambassador had written private notes at the bottom. Personal note, the Centauri? Our right to be afraid. I watched our fleet destroy the Vorthan Armada last week. It was not a battle, it was slaughter. The Vorthan ships never had a chance. We are becoming something terrible. Zephyr-9 felt her stomach turn cold. The humans knew what they were becoming. She found more documents. Reports from human commanders who were worried about their own people. Medical reports about human soldiers who came back from battle changed. Psychological studies about what war was doing to human minds. Look at this, said Tok. She had found a different file. This is from a human doctor. He was studying soldiers after battles. The doctor's report was frightening. Subject shows signs of combat addiction. When not fighting, he becomes nervous and angry. He talks constantly about the next battle. He has trouble sleeping unless he can hear weapons firing. Recommendation: immediate treatment. Combat addiction? Said Zephyr-9. The doctor examined. 1,000 human soldiers, said Tok. 700 of them had combat addiction. They needed to fight. Like other people need food or water, Zephyr-9 opened more medical files. The reports got worse as time went on. Human soldiers were changing. They were becoming something that only wanted to fight and kill, but then she found something different. A document from the human government. It was marked Executive Order 2847, Operation Exodus. Exodus, said Zephyr-9. That means leaving. The document was signed by the human president and all the human military leaders. It was short but very important. By executive order, all human military forces will begin immediate withdrawal from occupied territories. All human colonies beyond the Sol system will be evacuated. The human species will return to Earth and surrounding systems only. They left on purpose, said Tok. But why? Asked Zephyr-9. She found the answer in the next document. It was a speech that the human president was supposed to give to the galaxy. But according to the files, the speech was never given. My fellow beings of the galaxy, Zephyr-9 read. Today I must tell you something difficult. The human species has decided to remove itself from galactic civilization. We have become what we never wanted to be. We are too good at war. Every conflict we enter ends in total destruction of our enemies. We cannot control this. It is who we are. We have tried to fight more gently. We have tried to show mercy. But when we are attacked, our nature takes over. We become killers. We become monsters. For the safety of all species in the galaxy, we are leaving. We will go far away where we cannot hurt anyone. We will not return unless the galaxy faces a threat it cannot handle alone. Zephyr-9 stopped reading. Her hands were shaking. They left to protect everyone else, said Tok quietly. They were winning every war. They could have ruled the whole galaxy, but they left because they were afraid of what they would do. Zephyr-9 found more documents about Operation Exodus. The humans had planned their departure very carefully. They destroyed all their weapons factories. They deleted all their military plans from public records. They even destroyed most of their warships. Look at this, said Tok. A list of ships that left with the human Exodus fleet. The list was not very long, only a few hundred ships for billions of humans. Most of the ships were not military vessels. They were colony ships and cargo ships. Where did all their warships go? Asked Zephyr-9. She found the answer in a military report. All Class A battleships have been scuttled. All Class B cruisers have been dismantled. All fighter craft have been destroyed. Only minimum defensive vessels will accompany the Exodus fleet. They destroyed their own military, said Zephyr-9, the most powerful fleet in galactic history, and they destroyed it themselves. But there was one more document. This one was different from all the others. It was not a report or a speech. It was a personal letter from the human fleet commander to someone called Sarah. My dear Sarah, Zephyr-9 read. By the time you read this, we will be gone. I know you do not understand why we have to leave. I know you think we are the good guys. But you did not see what I saw at the Battle of Kepler Prime. You did not watch our soldiers kill enemy troops who were trying to surrender. You did not see the joy in their eyes when they destroyed the enemy ships. We are not the good guys anymore, Sarah. We are something else, something that scares me. The galaxy is better off without us. Maybe someday we will learn to be human. Again, maybe someday we will be safe to be around other people. Until then, we will stay in the dark between the stars. We will watch and wait. If the galaxy ever needs us, really needs us, we will come back. But only if there is no other choice. I love you, Sarah. I love all of you. That is why we have to go. The letter was signed Admiral Chun Morrison, Human Exodus Fleet. Zephyr-9 sat back in her chair. The humans had not been conquered. They had not been killed by some disease. They had not disappeared because of some accident. They had left because they loved the galaxy too much to destroy it. They were the most dangerous species that ever lived, said Tok Tok. And they were the most moral, said Zephyr-9. They had the power to rule everything. Instead, they chose to save everyone from themselves. She looked at the date on Admiral Morrison's letter. It was exactly 300 years ago. The same time that all human activity in the galaxy had stopped. They kept their word, said Zephyr-9. For 300 years, no one has seen a human ship. No one has heard from them. Where do you think they went? Asked OK-OK.Zephyr-9 looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there in the dark space between galaxies, the humans were waiting. The greatest warriors who ever lived, staying away from everyone they could hurt. I hope we never find out, said Zephyr-9, because if the humans come back, it means something terrible has happened. Something so bad that the galaxy needs monsters to fight it. She closed the files and turned off her computer. But she could not stop thinking about Admiral Morrison's letter. The humans had loved the galaxy enough to leave it. What kind of threat would it take to bring them back? 6 months had passed since they found the human ship. Zephyr-9 was finishing her final report about the human battle logs when the alarm started screaming. Red lights flashed in her office. The emergency alert system made loud noises that hurt her ears. She had never heard this alarm before. It was the sound that meant the galaxy was in danger. All research staff report to the emergency center immediately, said a voice over the speakers. Zephyr-9 ran through the halls with her team. Other scientists and workers were running too. Everyone looked scared. In the emergency center, huge screens showed pictures from Space. Director Korthval stood at the front of the room. He was the leader of all council research. His face looked very serious. 8 hours ago, our deep space sensors detected something at the edge of the galaxy, he said. Ships, many ships, coming from outside our galaxy. The main screen showed a picture from the sensors. Dark shapes were moving against the stars. There were hundreds of them, maybe thousands. The ships are not from any known species, said Director Korthval. They are bigger than anything we have ever seen. And they are coming straight toward the center of the galaxy. Dr. Vex raised his hand. How big are they? The smallest ships are the size of our biggest battle cruisers. The largest? Ships are bigger than space stations. We estimate the enemy fleet has more firepower than all Council forces combined. The room became very quiet. Everyone was thinking the same thing. The galaxy was about to be invaded by an enemy they could not fight. "What do we know about them?" asked Dr. Kesslin. "Very little. They do not answer our communication attempts. They do not slow down or change course. They just keep coming toward us." Director Korthval put up another picture. This one showed what happened when the alien ships reached the outer colonies. 12 hours ago, they reached the frontier systems. 6 colonies, 2 million people. He paused. The colonies are gone. Completely destroyed. No survivors. Zephyr 9 felt sick. 2 million people dead in just a few hours. How long until they reach the core worlds? Someone asked. At their current speed, 6 months? Maybe less if they speed up. What about the Council Defense Fleet? Asked another person. Director Korthval looked even more serious. Admiral Tex-9 took the entire Third Fleet to stop them. 1,000 of our best warships. And the Third Fleet is gone. All ships destroyed. We lost contact with them 4 hours ago. The room was silent except for the sound of people breathing hard. The best fleet in the galaxy had been destroyed in 4 hours. "We are sending messages to all member species," said Director Korthval. "Every ship that can fight is being called back to defend the core worlds, but I do not think it will be enough." Zephyr 9 raised her hand. "Director, I need to tell you something important." "What is it?" "My team has been studying human battle records. We found something." A message from the human fleet commander 300 years ago. Director Korthval looked confused. "What does that have to do with our current situation?" Zephyr 9 took a deep breath. "The humans said they would only come back if the galaxy faced a threat it could not handle alone." "The humans are gone, Zephyr 9. They disappeared 300 years ago. But what if they are not gone? What if they are just hiding?" The director looked angry. "This is not the time for wild theories about mythical humans." "But sir, the human ship we found, it was not just any ship. It was placed in the nebula on purpose. Like someone wanted it to be found?" Before the director could answer, all the screens in the room started flashing. New alarms went off. These alarms were different, louder. "Director," said a technician, "I am getting readings from deep space. Something is coming through hyperspace. More alien ships?" "No, sir, these are different. The energy signatures do not match the alien fleet." The main screen changed to show sensor readings. Ships were appearing at the edge of the solar system, but these ships looked different from the alien vessels. "How many ships?" asked the director. "Scanning now," said the technician. 100 ships. No, wait, more are appearing. 500 ships, 1,000 ships, the numbers kept going up. 2,000 ships, 5,000 ships, 10,000 ships. "Who are they?" asked the director. The technician worked on his controls. "Sir, I'm picking up communication signals from the new fleet." "Put it on the speakers." There was static for a moment. Then a voice came through the speakers. It was speaking in the old human language, but the computers translated it. "This is Admiral Sarah Morrison of the Human Defense Fleet. We received the distress signals from the galactic core. We are responding as promised." The room was completely silent. Everyone stared at the speakers like they could not believe what they heard. "Repeat your last transmission," said Director Korthval. "This is Admiral Sarah Morrison, Human Defense Fleet. We have been monitoring galactic communications from our position in dark space. We detected the alien invasion force 6 months ago. We have been preparing." Zephyr 9 felt her heart beating very fast. "Sarah, that was the name in Admiral Morrison's letter. The person he wrote to before the humans left." The human voice continued. "Director Korthval, we know you can hear us. We are requesting permission to engage the hostile alien force." The director looked around the room. Everyone was staring at him. "How do we know you are really human? How do we know this is not some trick?" There was a pause. Then the voice said, "Zephyr 9 is in the room with you. She has been studying our battle records for 6 months. She found the ship we left for you in the Kepler Nebula. Ask her if she thinks we are real." All eyes turned to Zephyr 9. She stepped forward. They are real. Everything in the battle logs was real. The humans really were that good at fighting. And they really did leave to protect us. The alien force will reach the core worlds in 6 months, said the human voice. We can stop them, but we need to do it our way. What do you mean? Asked the director. We mean total war. Complete destruction of the enemy, no survivors, no prisoners, no mercy. The room was quiet again. Everyone remembered the human battle. Reports, when humans fought, nothing was left of their enemies. If we do this, we become what we were before, said Admiral Morrison. We become killers again. Are you willing to accept that? Director Korthval looked around the room. How many people live in the core worlds? 50 billion, said someone. And if the aliens reach them, they will all die. The director closed his eyes for a moment. Then he opened them and spoke into the communicator. Admiral Morrison, you have permission to engage the hostile force. Understood. Human fleet is moving to intercept. We will contact you when the threat is eliminated. The communication ended. On the screen, they could see the human ships moving toward the alien fleet. Even from far away, the human ships looked different, sleeker, more dangerous. How long until they reach the aliens? Asked Dr. Vex. At current speed, 3 days, said the technician. For 3 days, everyone in the galaxy waited. The human fleet moved through space toward the alien invaders. No one knew what would happen. The humans had been gone for 300 years? Were they still the same warriors from the battle logs? On the 3rd day, the sensors picked up energy readings from the battle zone, explosions, weapons fire. The fight had begun. The battle lasted for 18 hours. Then everything went quiet. Are you getting any readings? Asked Director Korth-Val. The technician worked on his controls. Yes, sir. I see ships in the battle zone. Which ships? Human or alien? Only human ships, sir. All alien vessels have been destroyed. The room cheered. People hugged each other. The threat was over, but Zephyr 9 did not cheer. She remembered the human battle reports. When humans fought, they did not just win. They destroyed everything. The communication system activated again. Admiral Morrison's voice came through. Director Korthval, the hostile force has been eliminated. All alien ships destroyed. No survivors. Thank you, Admiral. The galaxy owes you a great debt. No debt is owed. We did what we had to do, but now we must leave again. Leave? But why? Because we are what we always were. We are killers. Today we saved the galaxy. Tomorrow we might destroy it. We cannot stay. But you are heroes. You saved 50 billion lives. We are not heroes. We are monsters who fight other monsters. The galaxy is safer with us gone. Admiral Morrison's voice became quiet. We will go back to the dark space between galaxies. We will watch and wait. If you ever face another threat like this, we will come back. But until then, it is better if we stay away. We understand, said Director Korthval quietly. Goodbye, Director. Take care of each other. The communication ended. On the screens, they watched the human fleet disappear into hyperspace. In a few minutes, they were gone. Zephyr 9 stood in the quiet room and thought about what had happened. The humans had kept their promise. They came back when the galaxy needed them. They saved everyone, and then they left again to protect everyone from themselves. She thought about Admiral Morrison's letter from 300 years ago. He had written about loving the galaxy too much to destroy it. Today his daughter had proven that humans still felt the same way. The greatest warriors in galactic history had saved them all. And then they had saved them again by leaving somewhere in the dark between the stars. The humans were going home. Zephyr 9 hoped the galaxy would never need them again, but she was glad to know they were watching.